everyone, my name is Yusra, and in today's video, we're going to introduce you to the different aspects of air travel. Things such as the cultural benefits or the networking opportunities, but also many more. Alongside my colleagues, James, Romina, Daniel, and Delphin, we're hoping to take you on a trip that will result in you becoming more familiar with the backstage of everyday air travel.
Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your everyday life? Your job and your responsibilities? You might ask yourself, how do you get away from that awful feeling? Well, let me tell you, there is no better cure than booking a ticket to a dream destination and hopping on the first flight. When your culture becomes nothing more than a part of your routine and you take it for granted, getting away and discovering something new that's fundamentally different from what you know can be freeing, and it can renew the feeling of gratefulness.
You might be wondering why in today's society with advanced technology one should still choose an airplane over other modes. The dream destination can be reached easily by airplane. The convenience of traveling by airplane is one of the main reasons people choose that mode of transportation. Airports can be found in most major cities with destinations all over the world. The experience you get in an airplane can be an introduction to the destination you will be visiting promptly.
When you book a ticket, you also book many different experiences that can be educational, recreational, enlightening, and even life-changing. Consumers gain a lot through air travel. Planning a trip with any airline is a very easy process. Your first step will be choosing your preferred method and airline. You have the options of booking your trip online through the airline's website or a flight search engine, in person through travel agencies, the airline directly, or even at the airport the day of. Your preparation for your trip, if booked in advance, can be an experience on its own. Learning more about your destination, deciding on which activities you will partake, and so on. Once the day of your trip has arrived, the airline experience takes first place in your trip once again. From the interaction with the staff at check-in to taking a seat at the lounge, you can understand the amount of effort that has gone into shaping your trip into something comfortable and familiar. The lounges, depending on the airline and location, are all formed with culture in mind. You will be able to find foods that fit all dietary restrictions, staff that is willing to accommodate you, and seating that has been made for your comfort. This is the place to relax while waiting for your boarding time, or even get some work done if your trip is not for leisure. While you're boarding your plane, the cabin crew will be there to welcome you with a warm greeting. Once you have boarded the plane, your cabin crew will do anything to ensure your comfort, providing snacks and, depending on the length of the flight, clothes and items for a good night's sleep. Your flight, no matter the length and quality, can include a meal if you so choose. That meal can be included in longer flight times and represent the destination's culture. At the end of your flight, the crew will be there to send you off with a warm goodbye.
Although there is an excellent question, the answer is pretty complex, but we try to narrow it down to two ways that have been found to be the most appropriate. A company can either decide that globalization for them represents diversity, or that it, to contrary belief, becomes a reason for homogeneity. For both, the channels remain the same: the good old TV, radio, magazines, and many more. The last couple of years, a good social media presence can also go a long way. We believe it's needless to say that advertisement is the most effective way to approach marketing. For many, that is the first contact with the brand, and thus the best opportunity to link the name of, say, brand to a positive feeling. To develop communication between brands and potential consumers through a diversity-full globalization, also called cross-cultural advertising, it's important to use all the components of the culture at hand. For example, language, religion, education, and values. Whereas when one considers globalization as its very own culture, it's easier to just concentrate on the expectation of the consumers, of whom some are assumed to be part of that global culture. Basically, the company will be looking at the world as a single market instead of a combination of different national and regional markets. In this case, it's basically the same advertisement everywhere that just gets translated. But as both of strategies don't seem to be viable in the long term, what could be the solution? Well, let us introduce you to glocalization. Globalization is similar to the global strategy where one advertising model is used for the entire market, but instead of just translating it, you also mold the advertisement in such a way that it will fit in a specific localization. Does this concept seem a little bit blurry? It did for us as well, so allow us to illustrate all of this with examples.
The following examples, while evident in most airlines, are based on Turkish Airlines. The first example portrays Chef Christian Reisenegger. The English advertisement is portraying the message of ownership over the chef by the clients, in the way of no matter the destination, the chef will be at their service. The Turkish advertisements promotes the chef as part of their crew, implying a sense of unity and belonging. The emotion in said advertisements is more prominent as well, giving its customers a sense of ownership over the airline. The chef serves different plates in each advertisement, each matching the target culture more. Each advertisement is trying to offer the same message to its viewers. We could assume that a localization strategy has been used due to the consideration towards the different cultures. Let's now look at an example of a standardized advertisement.
Messi?
Hey kid,
Kobe Bryant? Would you like to have some ice cream, young man?
ice cream? Sí.
The best fly with Europe's best airline. Turkish Airlines.
The standardization or globalization is made clear in different ways. The first one being the motto that reads, "Globally yours." Secondly, we can also read the sentence, "The best fly with the best," referring to the best pilots that supposedly fly their planes and to the two men we can see in the picture. These two have not been chosen aleatorily. Both are worldwide celebrities, Kobe Bryant and Lionel Messi. They are real sport heroes that would recognized by a majority of people all over the world. Thus, perfect for an advertisement for a company that wishes to have that kind of reach too.
The last example, although from the same airline, uses a different strategy, globalization. We can read the same slogan as before, namely, "Globally yours," but on these two pictures we can note some differences. Just like with the cross-cultural advertising, these differences are extremely subtle. On the English one, their contribution to basketball is underlined as main sponsor of the 2010 FIBA Basketball League, whereas on the picture destined for their Turkish audience, there is a bit more nationalism. The ball that represented the world here represents the logo of the company, harboring the country's colors. The net is slightly higher, making the achievement just a little bit more impressive. And in both, we can see two arms with different skin tones to represent unity in diversity.
In conclusion, airlines can offer an experience that is not easy to find in other modes of transport. They accommodate to clients' culture and are able to provide individual experiences. While your flight might not be as unique at all times, each airline does in fact offer a different experience. We hope this video helped you understand the ins and outs of air travel and its marketing, and how the latter is different from the typical marketing you experience in your everyday life.